Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 24 of the Sam Hossack Media Podcast. Very special guest today, and we'll get to introducing her right now. She is a graduate of Shattuck St. Mary's, has won a gold medal at the under 18s with Team USA, and played in Germany this year. Please welcome to the podcast, Alex Woken. We'll get right into things here now, Alex. Take us back to your days in Shattuck at high school and how that went.
Yeah, I ended up leaving home my 10th grade year. So I was at Shattuck for 3 years, and it was an amazing 3 years. I had a ton of fun, and the hockey was great, and I met some of my best friends that I still talk to this day.
Now, just take us through some of the amazing collegiate athletes that you played with at Shattuck that are in Division One right now.
Yeah, I think Erin Frankel, she just won Patty Kaz, um, Mac Lange, Patty Marshall, um, Abby Cleary, Kat Hughes. I think mostly everyone in my class, they went on to play Division One hockey. So, um, and even the classes below me too. So there's so many girls. Maddie Mills, Melissa Samaskevich. Um, I don't know. I'm all the girls. There's so many.
Now, one name you named there was Michaela Langa. She's been on our show, and from what she told me, you guys were roommates at Shattuck. So just talk about the friendship you had with her.
Yeah, we grew up like an hour away from each other. She is from East Grand Forks, Minnesota, and I'm from North Dakota, Fargo. And so we kind of grew up playing summer hockey together. And her mom is actually a power skating coach. And so um, kind of grew up going to those camps and learning from Chris, um, probably from like 8 years old. So we've known each other a really, really long time. And so to be able to room with her at Shattuck was super fun. And um, yeah.
Now, while you were attending school there, you got an opportunity to play for the under 18 team for Team USA and won a gold medal. So take us through the experience of winning gold with your country.
Yeah. My first year on the under 18 team, we were in Buffalo, New York. And so it was super fun to be able to win a gold medal on home ice in front of a bunch of fans. It was sold out. And it's just such an honor always to wear that jersey and play alongside a lot of really good girls. And then my second year was in St. Catharines, Ontario, in front of a large Canadian fan base. And so to win on there too was super great. And yeah.
Now, take us through the feeling you got when you saw your name on a USA hockey jersey.
It's pretty breathtaking, and just to know that um, being up alongside a bunch of other girls who have worked just as hard as you, um, and you all just have the same goal of wanting to um, just represent your country well and have that goal of winning that gold medal. It's super super special.
Now, after high school, you commit to Minnesota with the Golden Gophers. So just take us through the process of committing and when did you know Minnesota was the school for you?
So growing up from a young age, I knew that I wanted to go to Minnesota. It was always kind of a dream of mine. Even being from North Dakota, with the University of North Dakota having a women's hockey team at the time when I was growing up. Um, it's a long story, but my dad, he works for NDSU, which is kind of the rival school to UND with like football and other sports. And so I was never really allowed to cheer for UND. And so that was kind of where my dream to play for Minnesota stemmed from. And so I remember when I was really young, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, I told my parents that I wanted to play at Minnesota. And so I kind of did everything that I could to make it there. And so when the opportunity came up to go play for Shattuck and be surrounded by um, 20 girls who also want to go play Division I hockey, it was a perfect opportunity for me to go and really excel in hockey and really learn the sport more from really great coaches. Um, I did that, and so I think that was a huge stepping stone for me in my hockey career, and just getting me to a level where um, I was able to think about playing Division I hockey. So it was my 10th grade year that I ended up committing to Minnesota, but yeah.
Now, it might seem like so long ago, but your first NCAA game, who was it against, and how did it go?
It's a good question. I want to say it was against Lindenwood. I don't know. I think we won. Uh, I don't remember. I think it went fine. I'm sure I was really nervous and just getting used to the pace of play. I know we had an exhibition game against the Whitecaps before, I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, I want to say it was Lindenwood, but I could be wrong too. So.
Now, what did a typical game day look when you were at the University of Minnesota?
So I wasn't lucky to have no classes on Fridays. Like half the team, I would say, didn't have class on Fridays. So I was always kind of jealous of that. But I never um, didn't have class on a Friday, which was kind of a bummer because we play Friday nights. So it always would have been nice to not have class. But I actually kind of enjoyed it. So Fridays, we would normally play at night. And so I'd wake up early and I'd either go to class if I had it before pregame skate. So go to class, go to pregame skate. I normally would have another class after pregame skate that I'd have to rush to. And then, so I was kind of walking back and forth campus, going to class, to the rink, to class. So kind of get my walk in there. And then go to pregame meal. After pregame meal, go back, get ready. We always wore like game day clothes. So I don't know, nicer clothes. If you feel good, you play good. And yeah. So went back, got ready, and then walked to the rink. And yeah, so it seems short, but it's a routine. Kind of got into it. And then Saturdays, always go for a walk just because pregame walk, normally with my parents. They came to a lot of my games, so we'd always go on a walk together and just hang out just because I wouldn't see them during the week. So, and then it was a bit earlier on Saturday, so I'd get a pregame walk in. Normally I would pregame skate too, just 15, 20 minutes just to get my legs moving, and pregame meal, go get ready and go back to the rink. So pretty basic.
Now, you get to experience something not a lot of girls got to, I'm sure, with your parents being so close. So, how nice was it to be able to still see your family during the seasons?
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm super close with my parents since I'm an only child. Um, and so my mom actually, I think she only missed 4 or 5 games my whole career, my whole Minnesota Golden Gopher career, which was pretty special. She drove down every weekend. She flew out to all of our away games. Um, and so that was pretty special to have that, just to still see them on the weekends, because it's different over Zoom or over FaceTime talking to them, but to actually have them come in person. And then my dad, he was able to make it down when he could. He's really busy with work and just working on the athletic side of NDSU. He's always busy with football, so football season is super busy for him. And just kind of that. But when he can, he comes down. So
Now, who's your first NCAA goal against, and what was going through your head when the puck went in the net?
I have no idea. Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had the stat. I don't know. Um, it's kind of funny because now that I'm a year out, I don't really remember much of, oh, I scored this goal and this person scored this goal. It's like, oh, I remember when, sorry, my dog. um, I just remember like all of the memories of like, oh, we won. Like, I remember winning the WCHA tournament with my team. Like big things like that, but I remember more stuff off the ice, I would say.
Absolutely. And this year you go over to Germany. So take us through the process of going over there, and what was it like in the middle of COVID?
Yeah. So kind of like halfway through my senior year, me, Patty Marshall, and Katie Robinson, we were roommates, and we kind of sat down and we're like, we don't want to be done with hockey. Like, let's go over to Europe and play. And so that was like December. And so we kind of planned we wanted to go to the same team. And just with, it's kind of difficult. There's a lot of rules with import players. So in my league, the only 2 import players could be on a team. And so that was kind of thrown out the window for all 3 of us to play on the same team in Germany for sure. Over in Sweden, you can have as many as you want, I believe. But it was just kind of hard finding teams because COVID was going on kind of at the end of the season. And so it was a little difficult. But ended up reaching out to a couple teams who had reached out to me just to see where I would fit best. And after talking to the coach from Germany a couple times on FaceTime or Zoom or whatever it was, I kind of felt like that would be the right fit for me. And me, Patty, and Katie kind of decided it'd be good for us to not go to the same team and kind of just get our own experience. Just because if we went together, we would always hang out together. We would never branch out to new teammates, like we're 3 really close. We're really close. And so I think it was really good that we went to different places. But yeah, so that was kind of the process. I ended up deciding, I don't know, maybe in May that Hattie, shh, sorry, kind of in May, and then I ended up going over mid-August. And so at that point, it wasn't too bad in Germany. It was just kind of starting to ramp up in the US with COVID. But in November in Germany, they went into a lockdown. And from November until I left, and I'm not sure, they might even still be in a lockdown, semi-lockdown over there. But from November until March, nothing was open, only grocery stores. There was no restaurants open. Shopping centers were open at the end, but it was a little weird. And so borders were closed. We weren't really able to travel a whole lot. I got to Switzerland a couple times. Got to ski in the Alps. So that's like my big travel of being over in Europe. So it was kind of a bummer just because I went over there to travel and play hockey. The hockey was fun. It was great. But I definitely wanted to travel more just because I was over there already. But it was great. Like, I want to go back. I want to go over and travel for sure.
Absolutely. Now, what was the biggest cultural change that you kind of noticed at first?
Well, one big thing that I really missed right when I got there, there was no dryer for your clothes. And so I'd hang dry everything. And so if you want to do laundry, you'd have to wash your clothes, and then you would have to, like, you'd kind of have to have extra time because it took like, I don't know, if it was nice out, you could go hang dry your clothes outside and it would dry pretty quick. But if it, like in the winter, even though it didn't get cold there, it was like stayed over. It was like rarely got under 32 degrees or 0 Celsius. So it was fine, but clothes don't dry in that weather. So that was hard to get used to, not having a dryer. So when I came home, I was so excited to have a dryer again. Um, Something so small, but when you wash your clothes often, it's annoying to always hang dry your clothes. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That was like one big thing. I missed some foods that they just didn't really have over there. It was kind of hard to find peanut butter. Um, yeah, I don't know. There wasn't like anything huge. It was more just like little things that getting used to. Um, just like the way grocery stores were set up, and um, yeah.
Now, from experience with some of my buddies going overseas, when you went grocery shopping, was there something you picked up that was in like German that you thought it was something else and it turned out to be the wrong thing?
Yeah, for the first month, I would spend like an hour in the grocery store trying to find everything because I'd be Google translating on my phone, trying to figure out is this what I'm looking for, or and then you can't find something, and so you go up to the employee and show them your phone with like the Google translated. So like you're trying to show them in German, like what you're trying to find, and it doesn't translate the same. Um, but I actually took a couple of German classes when I was over there, and so that kind of helped me a little bit, kind of get around. But yeah, for the first month, I spent a good hour in the grocery store every time I went to pick up like 4 things, just because I had no idea what I was getting.
Now, during your time at Minnesota or over in Germany, what's your most embarrassing story during a game?
Embarrassing story. I just remember my senior year at the beginning of the year, I had just like this issue where like one of our teammates would score or I would score or something and I would fall like in the celebration and I would take everyone out, or like I would be the only one that would be on the ice. And it was kind of, I don't know, it happened for a good like 2 months where I would fall after goal celebrations, and everyone's watching in the stands and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is, I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know if anything really embarrassing happened in Germany that I can think of. It's kind of the only thing that stuck out, but it was pretty like falling like when there's 2,000 fans in the after scoring a goal or having a teammate score a goal and you're celebrating is pretty embarrassing, I'd say.
Now, what's the best NCAA rink that you got to play in?
I mean, I love our rink, but I'm biased. Oh, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think where else we went. Um, I didn't get to play. We went to BU, but I didn't get to play there. I was hurt my freshman year. So I didn't actually play in that rink, but I thought that one was pretty cool. It's kind of like old school. So um, if high schools are involved, I love the Shattuck St. Mary's old rink, um, just with all of the banners, and it's kind of like a wood top, and it's so like old school, but also so cool.
One answer we got from a bunch of people have been on was Wisconsin as well.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I don't know if I can give any credit to Wisconsin being a gopher.
now, We can do this for either Minnesota or your German team, but messiest girl on the team.
Um, Messiest girl. I'll do it for the Minnesota team. I think more people will know. Um, Messiest. I don't know. I feel like we had our lockers were pretty clean from what I can remember. Um, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
Now, who runs the music in the dressing room? Is it good or bad?
Um, Kip and Keller always ran the music my senior year. Um, she likes kind of the newer music, more like hip hop, that kind of stuff. And so she always would play that on game days. It was good. Um, I'm more of a country listener, so whenever I had the chance to have the aux cord in the locker room, I'd always play country, which sometimes it's nice. Some of the girls like it, but most of the time it was Kip.
Now, loudest in the room and on the ice.
Um, Sydney Scobie, she's so loud. She would like a good loud, but she's crazy. She was always so loud in the locker room, on the ice. She's always talking, always giving her 2 cents. Her and I think just like when everyone would start getting loud, the whole team would like there would be a couple girls and then the whole team would just get loud. So
Now, something that kind of got big at the end of your senior year was TikTok. So, best and worst TikToker.
so I was kind of out of the loop of TikTok because I think it was more of like our freshmen. So I was kind of like not too old because I have it downloaded on my phone now and it's hilarious. I don't do the TikToks, but I watch and it's so funny. But my senior year, Michaela Paul was kind of the big TikToker. She was the only one that I really knew that like actually made the TikToks because it was kind of like just coming out um, like end of senior year, I think. Um, so she was like the only one that I knew that did it. So yeah, her. But I'm sure there's a bunch of other girls that have it, but I don't know.
For sure. And now, kind of putting you on the spot here, but you're on a selection committee for Team USA next year for the Olympics. So, pick some of the top names you're getting for the women's and men's team.
Okay. We'll start with men's because um, I'll only be able to name a few. Um, Austin Matthews, Patrick Kane. Um, I know those two names. Um, TJ Oshie. Um, who else? Gosh, I don't know. Said I was going to do some research and kind of forgot about that. Um, I don't know. I'm so bad with names. Um, how you list them off?
I'd put like Oshie, Kessel,
Okay, yeah.
um, Austin Matthews. I'm a huge Leaf fan, so I've obviously got to
Okay.
go
Yeah, he's so good.
Austin. Kaner, obviously. Defense, I'd probably go John Carlson. Zach Werenski's getting pretty good. Seth
Okay.
Jones has
Yeah.
always been good. So yeah, just some of those guys. Like
Okay.
obviously, it's U.S. and Canada the big names in the Olympics nowadays with all the NHLers, obviously. But I mean, like other countries are getting big. Like Russia's getting pretty big. Like they got a bunch of good name guys that are going to be on that team next year for sure. But I think Canada and the US are going to be the two stacked teams because obviously 4 years ago at the Olympics, you don't have NHL guys, so Canada can't have McDavid, Marner, all those guys that have waited to have their shot. So
Yeah.
now, obviously, you're in the middle of a season over in Germany when the NHL came back. But who's your favorite team, and how exciting is it to watch NHL hockey every night?
Yeah, so in Germany, I wasn't really able to watch much hockey just because of the time difference. So I would have had to wake up and watch at like 3 a.m. And I'm not that committed to NHL hockey. Um, I mean, I'll watch it when it's on, but um, like now at home, if there's a game on, I'll turn it on just to have in the background. Um, but my favorite team is for sure the Wild. Just they're the team that's closest. They just clinched uh Stanley Cup or a playoff spot, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing pretty well for um yeah. But yeah, I mean I enjoy watching it. I definitely enjoy watching the playoffs the most where I'll actually like be like there's a game on tonight I want to sit down and watch. Or now um not so much. If it's on, I'll watch it, but um yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, the Wild are having a great year. So, how cool is it to see Kaprizov come in and have the season he's having as a rookie?
Yeah, he's fun to watch. That's one reason why I actually like watching the Wild. He's just so like dynamic, and he does just really creative things that you would think he was going to do something else, and then he does the complete opposite. So he's super fun to watch, super cool. It's exciting to actually see the Wild do like really well. Not that they like never do, but just like to kind of have the year that they're having it's fun to be watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, for people that don't really know, Kaprizov was drafted 6 years ago. So he's 26, 27 years old. So him to come in and do that, obviously, Wild fans are kind of like, holy crap, what if he came here 6 years ago? What could have happened? But
Right.
obviously, he came over and is having a tremendous year. And I mean, Fiala's having a good year from what I've
Yeah.
seen, and a couple other guys on that team. So it's great to see the Wild who have not really struggled in the past, but haven't really been close to the top really as they are
Right.
this year.
Right.
It always is cool to see teams that need one extra piece, and when they get it, it works out. And obviously,
Yeah.
Kaprizov coming in, it's worked out for the Wild somehow this year.
Yeah.
So obviously, hopefully, the Wild can have good success going into playoffs. And I mean, I'll be biased because I'll probably need a team to cheer for after the first round when Toronto doesn't win, probably. But yeah. Now, sad news in women's hockey this week. The Women's World Championships canceled up here in Canada, and the under 18 men's tournament got underway the other day in Texas. So, just what are your thoughts on that situation, if you have any?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of the girls who have said something that have made that were at like Team Canada camp or the girls that had made um, the USA team, I think they all kind of said it well, that women's hockey deserves more. Um, these women are really fun to watch, um, and they're really good hockey players, and they deserve the same treatment that the men get. Um, and so um, I would love to see um, the tournament happen um, sometime soon. I just hope that they can figure something out with a new location, just to be able to showcase how good women's hockey is, and um, yeah, and give the players that earn their spot on those teams a chance to play. Uh,
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously it's tough to really comment on it because the IHF isn't really giving answers. They're just saying, yeah, we're gonna look to move it, and we'll give everyone an answer soon. But obviously for all the women, that's not good enough because last year it gets canceled at the
Yeah.
beginning of COVID, and then COVID delays it again this year. So yeah, it's kind of tough. But as you say, yeah, women's hockey needs to obviously be shown fairly, and for the under 18 tournament to still be going on, I don't think that's fair to all those girls who have had to wait 2 years to represent their
Yeah.
country, and now all because of the government up in Nova Scotia with limited number of COVID cases, they make the decision to cancel it. I mean, right now, from last number I saw was 203 active cases in Nova Scotia, and
Oh, okay.
you're canceling a tournament with 10 teams who are all going to be in a bubble. And as some of the Canadian girls said, we're taking a bus 100 meters to the rink. Like they're not even walking outside to go to the rink. They're on a bus
Right.
right away. Like it's disappointing and sad, but I think the IHF has heard everyone's voice, and they're definitely gonna do something about it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so.
Now, finally, here before we wrap up, what advice would you give to a freshman who are coming into Minnesota next year?
Um, don't worry as much about the hockey, because in the end, the hockey, it's hockey. Focus on the friendships that you're gonna make, the relationships with the coaches and the staff, because those are the things that I remember now. Of course, hockey is important, and you're going there to play, but it's not end all be all, and doesn't define who you are. Um, yeah, focus on the little things outside of the rink.
Absolutely. Well, on behalf of the listeners, I'd like to thank Alex for hopping on here today to chat some college hockey and life over in Germany during a pandemic. So thanks a lot, Alex.
Yeah, thank you for having me.